Okay, so now when we have a remote interpreter session on our target machine, let's see what post-exploitation activities we can perform right from here. So first of all, let's see the help, and let me introduce you to some basic commands you can do from here. So basically we can operate with the session itself, right? We can exit it, we can put it on background to come back to it from the MSF console later, right? We can load some extensions, we can migrate to another process. Now we are running in context of a specific process on the system, and we can migrate to some other thing. We can run our own or whatever, right? So this is quite flexible, and it's mostly for reliance and persistence in the system. We can do some file system interoperation. Of course, we can search for interesting files, we can print working directory, we can remove something, create something, go through directories and download and upload files, take checksums before downloading, for later verification, and so on, right? And of course we can do some network configuration and do some system interactive stuff in order to make our activities more sneaky, right? So sneakier means that we can clear event logs, for example, right? Or we can drop tokens, execute background jobs, collect different system information, and so on. We can, of course, shut down systems, reboot them, and so forth. So this is quite broad range of operations you can perform now in the system. So basically everything that is allowed for your current level of permissions is available to you through some kind of API of Meterpreter, right? So first thing that we normally run when we are on the remote system, we get our user ID, okay? So here, sky is the limit, right? We have the highest possible permissions in the system. Otherwise, we would use something like get system, right? So this is just trying to locally escalate our privileges based on some basic techniques, right? So this is not working in most protected or relatively protected systems, but it's worth trying if you can exploit the same target multiple times, because it can break your current session. Okay. What else? We can just browse through what we have in memory in terms of processes, right? We can see where we are in terms of local file system. We can list something, right? See what's going on in the directory. We can cd to see Windows temp, for example. Oh, sorry. Remember that this is a backslash that has to be escaped every time you type it into Meterpreter, right? So nothing basically is here, but we can copy this file here and see it's now shown here, and we can of course download it now. Okay, so it's now available locally. But yeah, and of course let's migrate somewhere. This is the migrate command that allows us to just choose a process ID where to migrate, right? And let's do that. Let's migrate to Explorer of our current user and see what happens. Okay. Migrate to this process ID. What happens on the remote machine? Nothing really happens. So as you see, we have changed our effective user ID, which is quite silly in our case, because we are not sure that this user has the same level of privilege as local system or can escalate to the level of access of local system. So let's try to migrate somewhere that system owns, right? Let's go to service host, for example. Of course, we can do that. Remember, that's user of a Windows XP that can do virtually anything by default. Yeah, and let's now see what extensions we can load in addition to what we already have, right? So we can load different extensions. For example, let's see what sniffer does. Yeah, so naturally sniffer most probably allows us to sniff network traffic. So once you load an extension, you can see that help menu has increased in size. Yeah, so let's for example see what is our interface configuration here. We have interface number 2, that is the local network Ethernet adapter, the virtual one in this case. So let's sniffer dump to a file like this. Oh, that's funny. Sometimes it doesn't work as expected. So let me show something instead. Yeah, so for you can play with that, and most probably this is due to bad naming, maybe. Oh, not exactly. So somehow it should work. No, it doesn't. Okay, so this thing is kind of buggy. It worked, I promise. Let's see what other options we have. Of course, we can record something from the microphone. We can access web camera. We can key log the activities of the user, and we can collect a screenshot from the user's monitor, right? So let's just type screenshot, and we have something here. What's that? Oh, we have to do it in an external window, of course. Yeah, so here we are with the screenshot, and key scan starts the keylogger. Okay, let's I don't know, let's run. Come on, let's run a notepad application and type something. Type something. Okay, lol. And now we can key scan dump what's been collected. Basically nothing. Why? Oh, of course we have to do that from the current user session, because system is not basically typing anything into console. Okay, so let's migrate to our Explorer process again. And then rerun notepad, type something. Okay. Oh, we haven't started the scanner. That's why dump will not show anything, right? Let's start first and then type. Okay. Okay, as you can see, this is our data typed into the our target machine, and now we can stop the keylogger. Okay, so this is just to show you. This is quite there is quite a variety of different things you can do. You can program your extensions by your own. However, there is already a lot of things you can do in different ways. For example, hash dumping is not always easy, right, from many machines. So that's why in later systems there is this other way to do that. For example, there is this Mimikatz module that does almost the same thing but operates in memory and is more sneaky. So for example, let's just do the same hash dumping, right? So we have lm here and we have ntlm here, right? So but this is much more like lightweight and less intrusive and much sneakier. Okay, so this is the basic post exploitation you can do in the Windows environment. Of course, all this information about information configurations, network interfaces, system identifiers, and current users that you have exploited and run in the context of everything shall be collected in forms of screenshots and the outputs of these console sessions, because it will be useful in the later stages of your penetration test, and of course it will serve as evidence that you have basically accessed the system, had this target machine compromised, and accomplish the goal that has been set in front of you in the beginning of the engagement. Okay, so this is it about post exploitation in XP. The later stuff will be a little bit more complicated, but still completely doable. So let's switch to some more advanced and contemporary operating systems.